This is Barry Wolfe. I am here with my inaugural episode of Wolfe Bites. Really excited, and I have none other than my first guest as Beth Azor of Azor Advisory Services. Beth, I am so excited to have you here today.
I am so excited to be here for your first inaugural episode of Wolfe Bites.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to keep this to about no more than 10 minutes. For the three people out there that don't know Beth Azor, give us a little bit about yourself, about what you do, and people how they can follow you.
Sure. Thank you for having me. So I own 6 shopping centers in South Florida. They're small properties. My smallest one, I think, is about 11,000 square feet, and the largest is 75,000 square feet. The total value is about 80 million today. Today, Barry, it's 80 million. We'll see what happens.
They're great centers, so they're gonna maintain. So
okay, from your mouth to God's ears. Yeah. And I pretty much run those deals about 80% of the time. I'm the leasing agent. I have a leasing assistant that works with me, Kara. I, property manage. I help the property manager collect rent. I underwrite deals to buy. I'm in charge of the financing of the deals, the reporting to my partners. I raise money. So I'm kind of the chief cook and bottle officer for the assets. And then about 15% of my time, I travel the country teaching leasing agents how to lease space. Right. So before COVID, I traveled, and now what I'm doing is doing a lot of virtual training and webinars and rah-rah sessions for leasing teams. So my leasing agents are my peeps, they're my tribe, and anything I can do to help them, it kind of makes my day.
I say I'm seeing a ton of webinars. You're putting out as much content as anybody out there this side of Gary Vaynerchuk, maybe, and you may have him beat on some days, but no, putting out a tremendous amount of content. And for folks in the industry, you're probably getting any sales, not even just real estate. You put out some phenomenal information, whether it's new to the industry or folks that have been in it for 25, 30, 40 years. Anybody can learn a ton from you. So thank you for everything.
Thank you. Well, no, my pleasure. The posts usually come from an email or text I get that someone asks a question. Really, that's really kind of where most of the posts come from.
That's fantastic. We'll keep it up. A couple of quick questions for you. I mean, we're obviously in the midst of the corona pandemic as we're recording this. There's a ton of challenges out there. There's a ton of negative news. There's a ton of fear. Let's take a positive approach. What's working for you? What have you taken from all of this? What are some new things? What's working for you right now? Because I know a lot of things are.
Yeah, I think, certainly I'm seeing a lot of people on social, right? Some newbies, right? People that prior did not jump in. So I think that the CRE industry has finally figured out that social is not a bad thing, and that, it's a good thing, and you can leverage your input, you can leverage your added value, you can leverage content. So I'm very excited to see a lot of people that are hanging out at home saying, let me look at what this social thing is all about, right? So I'm excited about that because I believe in abundancy, and I think if all of us jump in, if we'll make it much better if there's more of us involved. So I see that as a positive. I love the creativity with a lot of these retailers. Love the creativity. Panera just added grocery stores, so groceries in their store in my center. It's okay for me because I don't have a grocery store in my center. But you see the small mom and pops. My nail salon is making masks. And it started out as just something to keep their nail techs busy. And they just told me yesterday they got an order from the U.S. government for 2,000 masks.
Holy cow, that's
phenomenal. So they've literally created a business line. Wow. So I just love that. And we're doing something called Freshman Forum on Fridays. Our friend Aaron Zucker and I, he's 31, I'm 59. And I thought, in 2009, we really lost a generation of young people in the commercial real estate industry because, when crises happen, leaders and principals of companies are focused on emergencies, and they don't have a lot of time to help the young people. right? The newbies. And we literally lost hundreds. We lost a whole generation in between 09 and I think 12. So we started this thing called, it was going to be one webinar, and I had about 200 kids, 5 years or less on the call, and they just, the webinar was supposed to go 45 minutes. It went an hour and a half before I had to cut it because I had to go make dinner for my kids. So we decided to do it weekly, and tomorrow will be our 4th week in a row.
Great.
And we get more and more. And what we've done is we've mentored those. Anyone that's wanted a mentor, we said, do you want a mentor? And we're matching them with vets in the industry that have raised their hand and said, I'll mentor. So we have 67 matches already. So I think that's a great thing, and I think it's going to help our industry keep going. You know, in 5 years from now, we won't have looked back and lost another generation.
So we can't afford to have that happen, lose again another generation. Agreed. So what do you? I mean, out of curiosity, anything particular you're missing right now with being quarantined, whether that's personally, professionally, anything that you are missing at the moment?
My nails. I want my nails done. I want my hair done. I want a massage. Those 3 things will be the first 3 things I do. And, you know, I'd love for my kids to have some freedom and independence and be able to go out, you know, because it's hard. As much as I love them, I'm kind of a nag, and I want them to be doing something productive, you know, not all day, but you know, so I'm on their case a lot, but we've come to an agreement. So I've now said, if you help me with every meal and you do 1 productive thing a day, I will be off your case. Then you can sleep till 3 and stay up till 1, and you know, so they've all agreed. Because is this going to go on another 4 weeks, Barry? I don't know.
God, don't say that. Don't say. I know that's not what either of us want, or even what we think. And it's funny. I mean, you mentioned the nail salon, massages. I mean, those are the type of users that. We need them back in business. I mean, they've got employees, they're paying rent in your centers and other centers. I'm really a big believer, and I think this is showing it, that those mom and pop retailers are truly the backbone of not even just our business that we're in, but of the entire economy. There's such a trickle down effect.
And let's just talk about how the fact that we won't be doing any national retailer deals till mid to late 21 to open in 22. So those mom and pops need to be the backbone of our retail industry, because those are the only ones we'll be doing deals with in the next 12 months. So I hope
they're the ones that are paying the rents right now. They're digging into they're literally their life savings to pay the rent. Well, I don't even want to get in on a soapbox where you got some of these nationals that first month in, we can't pay rent for umpteen months. And you got mom and pops that are literally digging into their piggy bank to pay the rent and keep things going, keep our economy.
And crying and feeling bad versus the other ones, which again, let's not go there, because then that wouldn't be a positive conversation.
Right. I mean, we're all stuck here right now. Where's your first restaurant? Where's your first meal when we open the doors and we're giving the clearance? Where's your first dinner?
Actually, my kids and I talked about that last night. And so we said 3 restaurants: Casa Romeo, which is Cuban. Right. We said Villa Rose Pizza, and Scrooby's Barbecue. And so my boys were like, well, we can go to Scrooby's and get takeout, and we can go to Villa Rose Pizza and get takeout, but Casa Romeo's closed. So that will be the first one that we go to. So great Cuban food.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining me in our first episode of Wolfe Bites. How can people find you? Again, I think everybody in the industry knows who Beth Azor is, but again, for those few that don't yet, how can they find you?
So probably LinkedIn, Beth Azor on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then email is beth@azoradvisoryservices.com.
Well, thanks so much for spending a few minutes